Well, now, hello. This is actually take two because I started doing this one. I actually was like right at the very end, and then my recorder went, "Oh, I'm out of memory," and stopped. And then I had a problem because it had too much stuff on it, and the system wouldn't let me delete anything because there was no room to move it to the trash can, and I had to find something that was small enough to delete so that I could delete something larger. And um, I I really need to clean off my recording chips more frequently than I have been. I've been afraid to delete them because I wanted to make sure that they were actually uploaded and properly sorted. And usually by the time I actually get to that, well, I tend to forget to come back and take care of the problem here. Also, extremely, oh, that person's going like the wrong way. This is a one-way street going that way. They drive by that way. Woo! I don't hear any crashes. We're okay. So, anyways, distraction. I like a squirrel today. Woo! Shiny. Uh, so what was I? What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I really have to go back and delete some stuff. Although I have to say something incredible has happened in my house. I'm so very happy. I have joined the modern age of the internet. I now have high-speed fiber coming into my house. I know most of you are thinking, "Oh, I have a cable modem and I get a gigabyte of data up," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, you people drive me nuts." I haven't had that capability in my neighborhood. Verizon came to within one or two, no, two. There were 2 blocks north of me. So 2 blocks from north of me, there's a hard border because there's border wars in Washington State. So they have like monopolies, but the monopolies are kind of like divvied up among all of the cell phone companies, kind of like a chessboard style. So Verizon can't sell in my neighborhood, but other companies could. So Verizon introduced Fios many years ago, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, I want it, give it to me now. And they're like, we can't. It's like, okay, you can't. I'm very sad. So then I called up my actual internet provider and said, "Do you have fiber?" And they said, "Why, yes, we do. We've just gotten fiber." I'm like, "Great, can I get some?" And they're like, "Oh, wait, um, fiber is only available up to within like 3 blocks from your house." So Verizon wasn't allowed to come south, and my actual current provider didn't have the capacity to bring it 3 blocks north. So there was this 5 block band stripe across my city where there was no way to get fiber, and the best I could do was DSL. And you're going to laugh at me, but honestly, I have been living on five 5 megabit download rate with 956 kilobit upload rate, which is to say my internet sucked. My cell phone gets better internet than my house did. I mean, Starbucks had better internet. In fact, there was oftentimes I went to Starbucks just to use the free internet because I had large files to upload. And I could get it done in like 3 minutes there, whereas if I did it at home, it'd take like 7 days. So, anyways, this is why I kind of like I'd start doing stuff. I start a file transfer. I start trying to do an upload. Like I started upload to YouTube. Like for this video, I started upload to YouTube and literally just walk away and let my computer run for 2 days over the weekend before coming back and checking and basically praying the entire time that it didn't pop up a little dialogue. "Unable to continue. Would you like to try again?" Yeah, that was a little frustrating. Anyways, so I was very close to being finished with this video. I do apologize. So I'm re-recording it again. Internet speeds awesome. Squirrel talk even more awesome. And last week I did a whole bunch of stuff all at once, and I posted it. There's public postings and there was patrons postings and stuff. So I apologize. A couple of you have complained that you got way too many emails all at once. So I hear you, and I promise to be good in future. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the patrons only posts first, and I'm going to then post the public vlog stuff, which is open to everybody, at the end, towards closer to the middle or end of the week. So you're getting this one, and a few days from now there will be another one, but that one will be the public one, and so that will drop the flash flood of emails for you. I apologize. I really do. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Okay, so let's have some fun. This is for patrons only, so we get to talk about cool things. Yeah, I like stuff. So Endless Horizons Sagas, dun, 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 is about Janali, and it's a steampunk, and you can't have steampunk without dirigibles. You need unique flying machines, either strange contraptions, the beat wings, or dirigibles, or like the common go-to, steam powered, something fun. Generally Jules Verne style or Victorian, with lots of gilded ironwork and the circular staircases of wrought iron, and just the gorgeous brass works and all the fun stuff you can do when they actually make it into a TV series. Oh, please let this be a TV series or a movie. It would be really good as a series of movies too, but I think TV series would work better. So when I started writing this, obviously I knew that we had to eventually get to a dirigible, and the Ventali Empire does not have flying machines. In fact, those are kind of not something approved of by the church. So they don't have airplanes, they don't have gliders, they don't have dirigibles. They do have hot air balloon experiments, but they've never gone beyond that. And so one of the fantastic things that Janali introduces with her super science or advanced science is, well, flying technology. So I wanted to find out how big her flying ship should be, and this is an early design for it, and I wanted it based off of a Falcon. I did this from the very beginning. This is notes from 2015, so it was actually quite a while ago. I wanted her ship to be based off of a Falcon, and it has wings that fold out very, steampunk style. So it's an observation system. It's meant to take scientific experiments. So it's designed as a lab, as a flying lab. And in order to take observations, you need to be able to look up and down, and if you're taking atmospheric readings and stuff like this, you need to kind of get out into the, atmosphere. So it was designed with wings, and the wings were meant to pivot out. So basically they can be pulled in so that it can land easily, and then when it's up in the air doing super science and having fun, the wings can be extended out so that they can look up past the envelope or the dirigible balloon. And then I started to try and figure out, well, how much would this weigh? How big can I make it and get away with something? I went back to some of the old, steampunk standbys like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and I also examined a lot of really genuine submarine craft of the smaller nature. I don't care about the supersized ones. And I kind of came up with some stuff. So in looking at this, I actually have the Nautilus. This is kind of like my cheap diagram of the Nautilus from Jules Verne's. It was supposed to be 70 meters long and 1,500 tons, but it was double hulled, reinforced with iron, so it was very heavy for its size. But it was going underwater, and we're going up, so we need to be able to pressurize the cabin, but not nearly as much as they needed to hold against the sea pressure. And then I also did some more research into the lifting power of various gases and the works. So I wanted to find out what the lifting was. So here's some quick science. Helium has a lifting capacity of 65.8 pounds per 1,000 square feet or cubic feet. So for 1,000 cubic feet of helium, it will lift 65.8 pounds. If hot air, because I was thinking maybe just hot air, Hot air has a 20 pounds lift capacity for 1,000 cubic feet, and that's when it's heated to 212 degrees centigrade. So you have to build an envelope that is fire resistant, that is capable of withstanding that heat, and you have to keep it heated, which is a possibility. I won't spoil this particular part of the thing for you, but yeah, you're going to love how this works. Hydrogen has a lifting capacity of 71 pounds per 1,000 cubic feet, and oddly enough, a vacuum was actually experimented with in Victorian times, and it's actually still being experimented with today as a lifting capacity, because a vacuum has a lifting capacity of 76.5 pounds per 1,000 cubic feet. So a vacuum is actually better lift, has much better lift than hydrogen. We don't use hydrogen because it's flammable. And we've had dramatic examples of why that's a problem. And so we use helium. So helium can lift 65.8 pounds per 1,000 cubic feet. And when I played out the numbers on Janali's ship, which is over here, I went through and I said, okay, well, I want this to be grandiose. I want this to be fun. It has to be a flying laboratory that she can use over and over again. And it has to have, wait for it, a toilet. Yes, I made sure. Yeah, the Victorians were smarter than the Star Trek engineers. They put toilets into their flying laboratories. It's meant to be a laboratory flying around doing stuff, so it does need to have facilities. But it has kitchens, labs, toilets, berthing rooms, an engine room. It has a coal storage because they are steam power, so they're planning on using that. It needs to have pressure pumps, air tanks, helium tanks, air exchange units, air pressurization units in a control room, a dining room that is to die for. Oh, I would love to go on board this ship and just eat, because wow, talk about the expansive view, the wide windows, and it would be wonderful. And of course, it must have a library. Oh, it must have a wonderful library, a library beyond imagination. So that's her flying ship. It's a flying laboratory, and she's able to use this because of, well, she comes up with a rather unique alloy, and this alloy is something a little bit better than aluminum. So I actually used aluminum as the basis for this alloy. There are advanced alloys that are stronger than steel and lighter than aluminum, but the manufacturing process for that is way too difficult. But I did give a possibility for something else, and you'll have to read to find that one. Spoilers. So even using all of this, her ship, as designed with all this space and stuff like this, is still going to come out at about 75. It's going to be 24 meters long, 11 meters wide, 9 meters tall, and so it's two stories. So it's still not that large. Jules Verne's is 70 meters long, so I'm still half the size of the Nautilus. And just trying to play around with that, I came out with that ship right there came out to about what was it? It came out to 20 tons before you start adding people and stuff inside of it. But what I really wanted was a 75-meter length ship, 34 meters wide, and 34 meters tall overall. I mean, it's still shaped like a falcon, so it's kind of a little bit roundish. So I was going for that, and I came down to a way to actually build that particular envelope using this metal, and I kind of came up with the fact that she's going to have to use helium. So playing around with the numbers, I come out to roughly an 80-ton ship with everything inside of it not included. So the lifting capacity has to be able to lift approximately, I got the note around here somewhere. 80. It has to lift 82,000 pounds or 41 tons lifting capacity. So I've actually played around, and I was kind of working with the envelope because I don't want the balloon to be that big. In steampunk, the balloons are always the envelopes are always very small compared to the size of the ship. But if you actually look like at real dirigibles, the envelopes are huge. I mean, they're like football stadium huge for this little tiny cockpit. And that's just simply because of lift ratio. Because, I mean, the envelope weighs stuff, so you don't get lift for free. And everything costs weight. But what I wanted to do is I came out to a way to build a ship that the ship plus the crew plus the supplies comes in at 65 tons. And then there's 4 tons of excess lift capacity in her ship. That means that she can pick up cargo, carry extra people, take care of emergencies, that kind of stuff. And I've worked this out, so I've actually got the diagrams and the math, and it is semi-pseudoscience because I'm not actually an expert at all of this stuff, but I do a lot of internet reading, and I try to make this as close as I can to reality. So there you have it. There's Janali's ship. I will scan my notebook a little bit for you and get that in there, and someday we might actually have some beautiful renditions of it. I'm actually looking forward to those. So that's it for today. I didn't make a lot of progress last week because the super secret is out now. I am starting. I needed a better publishing channel because I'm trying to get to larger publications access. So I've started a publishing company. And the publishing company is actually a nonprofit charity. It's designed around educating and providing a path to publishing for new authors, explaining to new authors, mentoring them. And we're going to be working with specifically youth, so teenagers who are going to be competing in writing contests. We're going to be start awarding publishing contracts to them. And then I'm also going to be publishing all my books through this company. So the name of the company is Azure Fire Publishing. You will hear a lot more about this in the future. So I think that's about everything for right now. I really hope you had a wonderful time. Thanks for watching. I noticed that this went to 18 minutes. Sorry, I wanted to try and keep these under 10 minutes, but I love talking about Janali's ship. I hope you had fun geeking out with me. Talk to you later. And again, thank you so very much for your patronage. It really, really means a huge amount to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.